What's up, crew member? Welcome back. Today I'll show you how to get the best slow motion footage using the Sony A6100. This information applies to most cameras from different brands, but when I reference the S&Q feature, that is specific to Sony cameras. I will be talking about 60 and 120 frames per second, being that those are the most commonly used for slow motion. When it comes to slow motion video, the 180-degree shutter rule still applies. This rule states that your shutter speed or angle should be double your frame rate. For 60p, you'll be setting your shutter to 1/125th of a second and 1/250th of a second when shooting at 120p. Applying this rule will give you the most natural motion blur in your footage. You will also want to keep your ISO as low as possible. This is why prime lenses with fast apertures are preferred. With the A6100, both 60 and 120 frames are available in 1080 high definition, recording with audio in all modes except S&Q. S&Q stands for slow and quick. This feature allows you to set up slow motion or time-lapse footage easily. First, you will hit the menu button and navigate to the second tab, which is the Movie 1 menu, and it's right there on the first page. Clicking into this setting will bring you to the configuration page. It only has two options, the first being record settings, and the options are 24, 30, and 60p. This is where you'll have to think ahead and know what type of timeline you'll be using for your edit. The reason why this is important is that if you are using 24p footage on a 30p timeline, this will cause the footage to look choppy. This is because every second will have 6 frames of missing footage. So you will have to set this according to your editing timeline preference. The second option is where you get to select the slowness or quickness. You have the option for slow motion and time-lapse video, depending on the frame rate that you select. 120p will give you slow motion footage, down to 1 frames, which will give you a time-lapse video. When using S&Q, there is no post-processing needed. Whether it's slow motion or time-lapse, the process is completed in camera, giving you a ready-to-use file. This is why audio is not included when shooting in S&Q. Another thing to note is that the file size is decreased to accommodate the process. Shooting in 5x slow motion will bring the file size down to 12 megabits per second, which could be a pro or a con depending on the way you look at it. But if you want the 100 megabit per second 120p files that this camera can provide, you still have the ability to select that feature in the regular movie mode. Keep in mind whether you're doing your slow motion process in camera or in post. Your editing timeline is the biggest determining factor to your slow motion settings. Maybe you want a quick overview of all the things the Sony A6100 could do. If so, click on the video here. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you over there.